there's about a month and a half of school left to do before it's all over and you get to go on vacation and take a snooze and just enjoy yourself and forget that school, exists. But, before we can think about the end of the semester, we have to do this show. As usual, I'm your host, Luke, and as usual, here is Lee. Okay, here's the problem, see? Now, Lee Boyle was supposed to be here and do a review of the movie Mary Reilly. Unfortunately, Lee could not be here, so I am going to do the review for him. Unfortunately, I haven't seen the movie, so I'm not going to be able to tell you if it's a good movie or not. All I can do is tell you what the movie's about, based on what I've heard, and then maybe that will convince you to go see it or not. Okay? So Mary Reilly is a movie about a chambermaid who lived in the house where Dr. Jekyll lived. And if you know the story of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Dr. Jekyll invents this little potion which when he drinks it, he becomes Mr. Hyde, who is this psychotic, no good little schnook. So when that happens, all hell breaks loose, and Mary Reilly is a witness to this, so a lot of stuff happens to her, and it's supposed to be a very, a thriller movie, a very, upbeat thriller movie. It sounds good. I'd go see it, so maybe you will too. It stars Julia Roberts, and it's out in theaters right now. So, check it out, okay? Now, here is a clip.
She has always been prone to exaggeration.
I saw the room. There was blood on the ceiling.
And did Mrs. Faraday explain?
No, sir, but I felt sure someone had been done to death in that room.
No.
She said you should have gone yourself, sir.
I couldn't, I'm sure you understand. A place like that. Sent my assistant, Mr. Hyde.
She called him a mad dog.
On those rare occasions when a woman like Mrs. Faraday is not at fault herself, she is liable to experience a rush of righteous indignation. I happen to know that Mr. Hyde did everything that he could. The girl had already lost too much blood. These amateur operations, as I'm sure you... Well, let's not discuss the details. Just rest assured that I shall continue to look into the matter. I suppose it would have been too much to expect a bit of gratitude. Good morning, Mary.
Morning.
What's the matter?
I thought, sir, when we spoke of private matters, those were confidences you would never repeat.
I'm afraid you've been upset by my assistant.
No, sir, I was more upset by you. That you told him.
As a doctor, I've always been in the habit of taking notes after any kind of consultation. I'm afraid my young man is less scrupulous than he should be. He read my notebook.
I see, sir. Well, in that case,
I can't deny that his manners are rough, but I've learned to look beyond that. I know he likes you very much. I see no reason why you shouldn't become the best of friends. As a matter of fact, I was hoping you would accompany him this afternoon on a scientific errand.
Cool, there you are.
Yes, sir.
I want you to pay very close attention to what I say. You must make another visit to Finley & Sons.
Yeah, I'm very much afraid they
Will you
will
listen to what I'm saying before you start raising objections? 3 or 4 months ago, they prepared this at my instruction. There must have been some impurity in the compound because since then, neither they nor any of the other chemists has been able to reproduce it. You must ask them to analyze this precisely and then wait on the premises until they succeed in reconstituting it. Tell them that this is a matter of the greatest urgency, life and death.
a new member here at Luke's Box Office, a new reviewer, Carl. And this week, Carl went out and saw Happy Gilmore. So, without further ado, here is Carl.
Thanks, Luke. Today I'll be reviewing the movie Happy Gilmore. Now, this is a comedy movie about an aggressive hockey player wannabe who is forced to play golf in order to save his mother's home from being sold out. Now, when I walked into the theater, I thought, I was going to see a very funny movie. But unfortunately, it wasn't as good as I thought it would be. Let me just put it this way. Sucked. And let me just put it another way that Wayne Campbell would have put it. It sucked donkeys. Now, the movie was produced by Robert Simmons and was directed by Dennis Dugan, who also directed Problem Child. I thought Problem Child was a much better movie than Happy Gilmore in comparison. I think one of the reasons why this movie didn't work out too well was because of the star Adam Sandler from Saturday Night Live, which not many people watch nowadays, because it sucked too. And what's even worse, that they even have another cast member from Saturday Night Live. I don't know why they put him there. I don't really know his name, but it's best not to know. Now, I think one of the reasons why this movie didn't work out too well, another big disappointment was the casting of Carl Weathers. Now, don't get me wrong, he's a very good actor. Now he plays Chubbs, the ex-golf playing Yoda, who has a wooden hand, which he keeps breaking and has to paste it together, which is probably the little comic relief. Now, I cannot believe he was actually accepted, or he actually accepted that role for that movie. Like for example, the thing is that he was good in other movies like Predator, Action Jacksons, and Rockies 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Now, the thing is that I don't understand why he chose that part. I don't know. Maybe he needed the money. I don't know. Okay, the other cast members of the movie was Julie Bowen and Christopher McDonald, who played in the made-for-TV movie thriller called Fatal Exposure, and a very well-known movie, Thelma and Louise. I found it difficult to try to find anything good in the Happy Gilmore movie. I think the only good thing in the movie is the fight between Gilmore and Bob Barker. I'm not going to tell you who won, but let me just say that Bob gave it pretty good. But, well, so did Gilmore, but you'll have to watch and see for yourself. Now, I think that that another thing that saved the movie from being a 100% bomb is the movie special effects, like the ball's point of view as it flies at sonic speeds throughout the air towards the green. And the other one's the exaggerated swooshing sound of Gilmore launching the ball with his grandfather's old driver. Another interesting point was the cameras arcing around the characters during a few intense movements. Some of the things in this movie were good, but most of it was 98% terrible. I would rather watch Caddyshack 5 times in a row. It's not easy trying to rate this movie while trying not to be a bad guy, so I decided to give this movie $2. Now, I hope none of you surviving Saturday Night Live lovers think that I'm trying to be harsh, because I think I'm being pretty damn generous here. So personally, I think this movie is a total putz. Back to you, Luke.
Good review, Carl. And now, here is a clip.
For 400 years, golf has been a gentleman's game. A game of tradition, etiquette, and above all, sportsmanship. Until now.
Y'all ready for this?
Yeah! Meet Happy Gilmore. He was a hockey player.
That's my puck, baby! Don't you ever touch my puck!
Who was skating on thin ice. But when his grandma needed his help...
Mrs. Gilmore owes the IRS $270,000. We're gonna have to sell the house to someone else.
But she's an old lady. I mean, look at her. She's old.
He discovered a new talent.
The house is like 400 yards away. That's unbelievable.
Now he's going from the rinks
Step right up, folks. See if you can outdrive the amazing golf ball whacker guy.
to the links.
Hey, where are you going with those clubs, punk? I'm your caddy. He's gonna be on the tour. That's super.
He's got the swing. He's got the drive.
He shoots, he scores!
He's got the balls.
Oh, God, that hurt a little, but I'm all right.
Quite a large and economically diverse crowd here at Invitational. I guess it's the new tour sensation, Happy Gilmore.
Hey, if I saw myself in clothes like those, I'd have to kick my own ass.
And while he's trying to keep Granny out of the rest home,
I'm telling you, this place is perfect. You're gonna make friends in no time.
he's driving the game of golf.
Why didn't you just go home? That's your home. Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
Straight into the ground.
Damn you people, this is golf!
I'm Bob Barker. Looks like you and I are going to be playing together today. This guy sucks.
All right, let's go.
Universal Pictures presents Adam Sandler
The price is wrong, Bob.
as golf's missing link, Happy Gilmore.
Don't be a slob, don't get a job, go back to class, you can pass. And to start the day off nice and fine, I'm gonna play a new old favorite of mine. I saw my problems and I feel like we gotta love and think, we gotta feed it right. There ain't no danger we can go too far. We start believing now that we can be who we are. This is the word.
Alright, that right there was a clip from the 1978 movie version of the Broadway play Grease, which is also the subject for this week's Rented, Why Don't You? Alright, okay, now I'm just gonna say one word, okay? So pay attention. Okay, here goes, one word. Alright. Musical. Alright, I can just hear all your teeth cringing out because I know that a lot of people out there do not like musicals. And personally, I don't blame you because I don't like them either. Why? Because, you know, what happens in musicals, people are just talking normally, and then all of a sudden, they start singing and dancing. Why? Why do they do that? It doesn't make sense. And where in life would you be, just talking to someone, say, your friend says, hey, how you doing? I'm cool, fine, okay, good, and all of a sudden, you go, I like your teeth. You don't do that because it's not logical. That doesn't happen in real life. You don't do that. And besides that, in musicals, they use like 5 minutes to sing and dance something that they would use like maybe 10 seconds just to say, to talk, So, it's just like, why? It doesn't make sense. But I have to make exceptions for two movies that I really like. The first one is Singing in the Rain, which is a really good movie, and you should, go see it. The other one is the one I'm talking about today, Grease. Because Grease, unlike other musicals, although it is based on a Broadway musical, it does not have, Broadway music. Instead, it has 1950s type rock and roll, a kind of music that I really, really like. So I enjoy listening to that music. So I like that movie. But that doesn't change the fact that they're just talking and all of a sudden, hey! So okay. So Grease. What is it about Grease that makes it so appealing? Besides the music. Well, it is nostalgic. It's a nostalgic look at the 1950s, the high schools of the 1950s. If you've watched Happy Days, you will probably like this one because it's the same kind of feeling you get from it. The 1950s, what was, you had, first of all, you had all these gangs, they're very cool gangs in this school. In this movie, they're called the T-Birds, man. And they're cool, man. They wear, you know, their leather jackets and the white shirt like I'm wearing, man. And they're cool, man. They do their hair all greased up, man. And they go around and say, hey, man, I want to do this and man. And, you know, it's kind of cool. At the same time, you have all the women that they have their own gang, man. And in this movie, they're called the Pinkettes. And the Pinkettes are all these cute, cool girls. And, you know, you get the cool girls with the cool guys, man. You could have a party. So always really nice that way. Second of all, it talks about love. You know, you have Danny Zucker, which is the cool guy. You know, and you have this little fragile girl from Australia called Sandy, played by Olivia Newton-John in her first movie, and you know she is totally the opposite from Danny, but you know they get together somehow, and you know that just shows you that opposites attract, and you know you shouldn't give up on anything just because you don't have any. You know, you just don't relate. You have to stick in there. So it's kind of a fun movie, and it's good to see once in a while. It also stars people like Sid Caesar, and since it's based in the 1950s, they have teenage heartthrobs from the 1950s, such as Frankie Avalon, and the theme from To Grease is sang by Frankie Valli. So you have Frankie and Frankie. It's very cool. So there it is. Grease is a very good movie. Go see it. Enjoy the rock and roll. And be sure to check out John Travolta in his second movie. His second starring movie. This is the movie that made him a star. He did Saturday Night Fever first. And he got nominated for an Academy Award for that. He didn't get it. And some people just thought that was kind of a fluke because he knew him from Welcome Back, Kotter, and Barbarino in Welcome Back, Kotter was kind of he was an idiot. And then he did Saturday Night Fever. Okay, he did pretty well. Then he did Grease, which really convinced people that he was a very good professional actor and he could sing. Unfortunately, a few years after that, he did Two of a Kind with Olivia Newton-John, and this totally destroyed his career. And it took until, Pulp Fiction, until he got back on track again. So, there you go. So, I give Grease about $5.50. Okay, not bad. You can rent it. Go see it at the Imperial if it ever comes out there. And that's it. So here is a clip. This is a clip. It's a song. It's a Grease Lightning. It's the it's all the cool people, all the Danny Zucker and his guy trying to put a car together. And here you go.
The problem isn't in the dent. Where? The problem's in this rubber band engine. The problem's in your mouth.
Yeah, and where are you gonna get a new carburetor, huh?
You ever hear of borrowing?
Nicky, you got any Scotch tape?
Hey, big stuff. What do you drive, huh? I drive. Yeah? How about you?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Well, what about Dooley?
Well, hey, that's what I thought. Now, come on, guys. Look. Now, this car could be a major piece of machinery. Do you know that? Now, look at this. Well, this car could be systematic, hydromatic, ultramatic. Why could be Grease Lightning?
Get some overhead lifters and 4-barrel quads, oh yeah.
Keep talking, won't keep talking.
Fuel injection cut up in chrome-plated rods, oh yeah.
We'll get already. Oxygen will get already.
With a 4-speed on the floor, never waiting at the door.
You know that ain't no shit. We'll be getting lots of tit.
Grease Lightning. Go, Grease Lightning, you're burning up the quarter mile.
Grease Lightning, go, Grease Lightning.
Go, Grease Lightning, you're coasting through the heat lap drive.
Grease Lightning, go, Grease Lightning.
You are supreme, the chicks are cream, for Grease Lightning. Purple French tail lights and 30-inch guns, oh yeah. A pound in the dashboard and doom on the twins, oh yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for this week. Again, man, time flies by while you're having fun, right? Okay, so watch a lot of movies, do all your studies, and join us again in 2 weeks. Until then, The Office is, you know, you should know this by now, is, come on, say it, come on, come on, closed. Very good. See you next time.